Hello everyone and welcome to It Goes Off wrap of the round. Busy round 21, Grantley Bernard, 7 games. Talk us through all the winners and losers.
7 big games. Probably the big loser out of the whole weekend was the Townsville Crocodiles. But let's get into the whole wrap of the round. And it started off with the New Zealand Breakers 81, beating those Townsville Crocodiles 70. Wilkinson 18 and 10, another double-double for him. Cedric Jackson 15 points, 7 assists for the Breakers. For the Crocs, Gill and Holmes were on the board. The Breakers out-rebounded the Crocs 40 to 27. They outscored them in the paint 44 to 28, so a significant advantage in the inside game. The Crocs got to within 2 on a Holmes 3 with 3 minutes left, but the Breakers went 11-2 the rest of the way to get the win. The Adelaide 36ers 79, Perth Wildcats 90. Johnson had 24 and 8, and Way had a dozen and a half a dozen. For the Wildcats, Lish with 23 points on 4 of 5 shooting from the three-point line. Jesse Wagstaff, 17 points. The Wildcats picked up 15 second chance points in this game. They also shot 12 of 21 from the three-point line. Damien Martin had 16 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists with a pretty good all-round game. Adelaide trailed by 14, but they put together a 20-8 run to get within 2 with 1:07 left. But then Kevin Lish stepped up and hit a 3 to steady the Wildcats. Wollongong Hawks 86, Gold Coast Blaze 94, Ubaka 24 and Martin 14 for the Hawks. The Blaze, as always, Mark Worthington 26 points on 10 of 13 field goals and Petrie 19 points, 8 boards. The Blaze used a 27-21 fourth quarter to stitch this one up. Both teams shot 50% or better from the field, but the Blaze had a significant edge, 48 to 28 points in the paint. The Hawks actually had a fourth quarter lead and the game was tied until Idris DeLeon made the last go-ahead bucket with 4:34 to go. Melbourne Tigers 83, the Adelaide 36ers 91. Tregar 19 points, Dorsey 16 for the Tigers. For the Sixers, Warren had 26 points on 9 of 10 field goals, 5 of 6 from threes and 8 assists to go with that. Johnson 18 points. The Sixers shot 53% from the field and 58% on threes. They were also 24 of 28 on free throws, so the Sixers had a great shooting night. The Tigers had an inside edge with 32 to 16 points in the paint, but the Sixers got the edge where it mattered most with a 43-35 second half. Perth Wildcats 78, beaten at home by the Cairns Taipans 83. Lish 21, Redditch 19 for the Wildcats. Loughton 20 points on 9 of 14 shooting for the Taipans and Warren 17 points. Cairns used a 26-9 third quarter to really get into this contest. Jamar Wilson had the last go-ahead basket with 2 minutes 44 left. The Taipans went 30 of 61 from the field and the Wildcats 27 of 68 from the field. Sydney Kings 71 over the Townsville Crocodiles 69 in an absolute thriller. Shane Hill's first game as interim head coach for the Kings. Julian Kazoo 15 and 13, Martin 15 points, 5 helpers. For the Crocs, Blanchfield had 15 and Jacob Holmes another good game, 14 points, 9 boards. The Kings were 21 of 29 on freebies and the Crocs went 23 of 24 on free throws, so pretty accurate there. The Crocs had an edge of 30 to 18 points in the paint, but the Kings led by 13 going into the fourth quarter, still led by 13 with a bit more than 3 minutes left. The Crocs put in a 13-2 run to the finish and actually had a shot with Eddie Gill to tie it and go to overtime. Missed. Kings get out of jail. Shane Hill 1-0 as the Sydney Kings interim head coach.
Congratulations to Shane Hill to get that first up win, but it's that win by the New Zealand Breakers over the Crocs and more importantly that surprising loss by the Perth Wildcats to the Cairns Taipans sees the New Zealand Breakers really as the favourite now to win the regular season title and finish on first as we take a look at the NBL ladder. And there you see it, the Breakers up on top with 17 and 6. The Wildcats starting to look a little vulnerable there. The Blaze making some inroads. You'd expect the Wildcats would still finish in that top 2 spots. They would need a real capitulation to fall out of there. The Blaze had 2 strong wins over the Hawks. Taipans, they have been the big winners in round 21 with 14 and 10 and now would be considered favourites to hang on to that 4th place. Crocs got some work to do after a disappointing weekend, and you can absolutely forget about the rest. The Tigers 10-14 looking very, very shaky. The Kings showing some signs with the hammer at the helm, and the Sixers and the Hawks bringing up the rear. Grantley, for all the viewers out there who want a full and comprehensive look at round 21 and to take a look at also what's going to happen in round 22, check out the extended version of It Goes Off.